A struggling single father allowed a stranger to stay for one night, unaware she was the daughter of a wealthy businessman and would soon fall in love with him. "You shouldn't be out here alone," Marcus said, his voice steady but firm as cold rain soaked his jacket. "This street's no place for anyone at 3 o'clock in the morning." The young woman spun around, startled. Her dark hair clung to her cheeks, drenched, and her eyes, wide with unease, darted around before settling on him. "I don't need your pity," she shot back, wrapping her arms tighter around herself. Marcus stepped closer, keeping a respectful distance. He was still in his maintenance worker's uniform, its reflective patches faintly glowing under a flickering street lamp. "I'm not pitying you," he said. "I'm offering a dry place with coffee and no trouble from strangers." She hesitated, her breath shaky, not just from the chill. He noticed her trembling hands and the way she glanced nervously down the empty street, as if bracing for someone to appear. "What happened?" he asked, his tone gentler now. She looked away. "I got mugged. My phone's dead. My wallet's gone." Marcus let the silence settle briefly. Then he exhaled. "Want to call someone?" She shook her head. "I just need somewhere safe until morning." Marcus considered walking away. He had a 7-year-old son at home and couldn't afford risks. But something about her stance, defiant yet vulnerable, made him act. "Okay," he said, adjusting his backpack. "I live a few streets over. It's small, but it's warm. You can take the couch for the night." She looked ready to argue, but then nodded faintly. "All right," she whispered. They walked in silence, Marcus keeping a polite distance but staying alert. At his modest apartment building, he unlocked the door and gestured her inside. The place was tidy but lived in, with comic books stacked on a shelf and a tiny blue backpack by the entrance. "Leave your shoes there," he said, pointing to a rug. "Couch is yours. There's a quilt in the hall closet." She nodded, brushing rain from her face with her sleeve. Marcus headed to a cluttered storage room, securing his keys and wallet in a locked box, a habit born of necessity. He returned with a quilt, a clean towel, and a dry hoodie. "Bathroom's down the hall," he said, handing them over. "Shower's hot, but give it a second to warm up." She took the items, her eyes flicking to his, puzzled by his calm demeanor. "Why are you helping me?" she asked. Marcus scratched his jaw. "Because you look like you needed it, and I want someone to do the same for my son if he were ever in trouble." She seemed to tense at the mention of his son, but stayed quiet. While she showered, Marcus left a mug of hot tea and a note on the coffee table. It read, "House phone's by the kitchen if you need to call anyone. Closet's got extra quilts. Please keep the door shut. My son wakes easily." He slipped into the bedroom he shared with his boy, Noah, moving quietly. 20 minutes later, Clara emerged from the bathroom, wearing the oversized hoodie. The apartment was still. She stared at the note, her fingers brushing the warm mug. For the first time that night, a sense of safety settled over her. She curled up on the couch, wrapped in the quilt, and listened to the rain fade outside. The man who'd taken her in hadn't asked her name or shared his. He hadn't judged or demanded anything. She didn't know him, but for now that was enough. She'd sleep, and tomorrow she'd figure out her next step. Clara woke to a child's laughter, bright and carefree. For a moment, she felt disoriented. The soft quilt, the faint smell of pancakes from the kitchen, and the low hum of a cartoon on TV were a stark contrast to the chaos of the previous night. She sat up, blinking in the morning light. Across the room, a boy with messy curls sat on a rug, stacking wooden blocks into a wobbly tower. He giggled, oblivious to her waking. "Morning," Clara said softly, her voice hoarse. The boy looked up, eyes wide with interest. "Hi. You're the lady who slept on our couch," he said cheerfully. Clara blinked. "Excuse me?" "I'm Noah," he said, puffing out his chest. "Dad said a nice lady stayed because she got wet in the rain." "That's you, right?" Clara smiled faintly, her first real smile in days. "I guess so." "Nice to meet you, Noah." A voice called from the kitchen. "No breakfast patrol. Come help me ruin the pancakes." Noah laughed and darted off. Clara stood, stretching her stiff muscles, and followed slowly. In the small kitchen, Marcus was flipping pancakes with one hand while stirring oatmeal with the other. "You cook?" she asked, unsure if she sounded impressed or surprised. Marcus glanced over. "Only if Noah's brave enough to eat it." "Want to join?" Clara hesitated. "I can try, but I'm terrible at cooking." He handed her a spatula and grinned. So are we. That's why we burn a lot of pancakes around here. She laughed, the sound catching her off guard. They worked together in the cramped kitchen, Noah perched on a stool spreading jam on toast, while Clara attempted to flip pancakes. Predictably, she fumbled. The spatula slipped, and a pancake slid off the pan, landing on the counter. "Oh no," she gasped, reaching for a cloth. Noah handed her a napkin with a grin. "It's okay. Dad drops stuff all the time." Clara laughed again, louder this time. Marcus said nothing, just smirked as he scraped the pancake back into the pan. At breakfast, Clara eyed the plate in front of Marcus nervously. Her pancakes were uneven, the toast slightly charred, and the bacon oddly crisp. Still, Marcus ate every bite. "This is good," he said, deadpan. "You don't have to pretend," Clara said, raising an eyebrow. "I'm not," he replied. "It's edible." "That's a win." Noah nibbled his food carefully, and Clara tried not to notice. After the meal, Marcus cleared the plates. "You too, chill. I've got this." Clara offered to help, but he waved her off. Glancing back, she saw him pull a fresh plate of pancakes from the oven for Noah, just in case. She didn't comment. Later, as Clara helped Noah build a block castle, he whispered, "Dad's pancakes were better, but he ate yours anyway." Clara raised her eyebrows. "He made more." Noah nodded. "But he told me not to tell." Oops. Clara walked to the kitchen, leaning against the doorway. Marcus looked up, caught eating his second batch of pancakes. She crossed her arms. "So I ruined breakfast." He grinned sheepishly. "You made breakfast. That's what counts. Why not tell me?" Marcus shrugged. "First tries are always messy. You just need someone to eat it anyway." Clara stared at him, something shifting inside her. He was different. Honest, kind, patient in a way that made her feel seen. "You said last night you'd want someone to help your son if he needed it," she said softly. "You're a good dad, Marcus." He gave a small smile and returned to his pancakes. Later, while washing dishes, Marcus spoke casually. "There's a dry cleaners around the corner. The owner's a friend. I can ask if they need help if you're sticking around." Clara paused. "I might need to earn some cash while sorting things out. I lost everything. ID, job, all that. I was a student from out of state. It's messy." Marcus didn't pry. "Let me know if you want to check it out." The bell above the dry cleaner's door chimed as Clara stepped inside. The air smelled of detergent and faint starch, with machines humming and piles of clothes spilling from baskets. A woman at the counter glanced up. "You Marcus's friend?" Clara nodded. The woman tossed her an apron. "Start now." Just like that, Clara had a job. By midday, her shoulders ached. Her hands were raw from chemicals, and 2 customers had already complained, one about a wrinkled shirt, another about a late order. She glanced at the clock. Only 4 hours in. By evening, in the alley behind the shop, Clara leaned against the wall, her apron stained, her face flushed. Her dead phone sat useless in her pocket. She considered leaving, returning to a shelter. Anything but this. Back at Marcus's that night, she collapsed onto the couch, wincing as she pulled off her shoes, revealing blisters. Marcus noticed but didn't ask. The next morning, Clara found a pair of clean sneakers by the door, her size, with a note tucked inside. "Your feet deserve better. If you're leaving, at least walk comfortably." She held the shoes, stunned, then slipped them on. When Marcus returned from his shift, she was toasting bread. "You didn't leave," he said. "Almost did," she admitted. "But your sneaky shoes worked." He smirked. "They weren't meant to guilt you. Just to give you a choice." Later that week, after folding endless shirts, Clara groaned. "I've never been this exhausted. I thought spin class was tough." Marcus looked up from sorting clothes. "You're earning something real now." She shot him a look. "You mean sore arms?" "I mean freedom from your own work. It's yours, no matter how rough it gets." His words lingered with her. That Friday, the dry cleaner got a massive order for a nearby motel. 200 linens and uniforms by dawn. Clara stayed late with Marcus to finish. They worked past midnight, the fluorescent lights buzzing. Marcus folded with ease, Clara fumbled, refolding the same sheet multiple times. At 2:30 a.m., they loaded the linens into Marcus's beat-up van. "My hands are numb," Clara moaned, climbing into the passenger seat. "You'll miss them when they're gone," Marcus said dryly, starting the engine. They drove through quiet streets, delivering bundles. The silence was comfortable, natural. At one stop, Marcus handed Clara a small bag. "Drop this at number 12, the house with the red mailbox." She nodded, left the bag on the step, and turned back. Suddenly, a motion sensor light went out, and a large dog charged from the yard, barking fiercely. Clara yelped, tripping over the curb and scraping her knee. Marcus was out of the van in seconds, standing between her and the dog. "Back off," he shouted. The dog retreated. He helped Clara up, half carrying her to the van. "I told you to stay put," he snapped. "I thought I could handle a drop-off," she muttered, clutching her stinging knee. He set her in the van and shut the door. "Damn it, Clara," he said, exasperated. "You could have been hurt." She saw the worry beneath his anger. "No one's ever yelled at me because they cared," she whispered. Marcus softened. "Well, you're in the wrong place now." Clara laughed through tears, the moment feeling like more than just a house. It felt like home. One day, while folding shirts, a silver bracelet slipped from Clara's bag, a delicate chain with a tiny emerald charm, far too elegant for a struggling student. She froze. Marcus paused, his eyes on the bracelet. "That's not something a broke student carries," he said quietly. Clara grabbed it, stuffing it into her pocket. "It got mixed up in the laundry," she mumbled. "Who are you, really?" Marcus asked, his tone calm but firm. Clara's throat tightened. "I'm someone who left a world where everything's for sale except what matters," she said. Marcus studied her. "You didn't tell me everything." "I didn't lie," she said. "I just left parts out." His jaw tightened. "That's the same thing." Silence hung heavy, broken only by the hum of machines. Clara's eyes stung, but she held back tears. The door swung open. A man in a denim jacket, holding a phone, stared at Clara. "Found you," he muttered, snapping a photo. "You've been gone a week, princess. Your dad's offering big money to find you." Marcus stepped forward. "Get out." The man smirked. "Just doing my job." Clara backed away, panic rising. Marcus grabbed her arm and pulled her to the back exit. "Move." They ran to his van. "What about Noah?" Clara gasped. "He's at school." "I'll get him." Within an hour, Noah was safe with Marcus's neighbor, Mrs. Lopez. "She'll watch him," Marcus said. "You trust her?" Clara asked. "With everything," he replied. Mrs. Lopez took Noah in without a word. Marcus kissed Noah's forehead. "You're staying with Aunt Lopez for a bit, buddy." Like a campout, Noah nodded sleepily. They drove to the city's edge, silence heavy. Clara noticed a cut on Marcus's hand. "What happened?" she asked. "The guy shoved me when I blocked his phone," he said. "Why didn't you say?" Marcus shrugged. "As long as you and Noah are safe, I'm fine." Clara's eyes welled up. He protected her not for who she was, but because of who he was. Back at the apartment, Marcus parked a street away, cautious. The porch light was off wrong. Clara stepped out despite his warning. A sleek gray car idled in the driveway, 2 men in suits by the door, which was ajar. Marcus moved in front of Clara as a third man emerged, tall, gray-haired, commanding. "Clara," he said icily. "Get in the car." Clara froze. Marcus didn't. "You her father?" he asked. "I'm Victor Langston," the man said. "You've been hiding my daughter." "I gave her a couch when she had nowhere else," Marcus replied. Victor sneered at the apartment. "This place is beneath her." "She chose it," Marcus said. "Not me." Victor's eyes narrowed. "You can't keep her." "I'm not," Marcus said, voice firm. "But I'm not handing her over like she's luggage." Clara stepped forward. "Dad, stop." Victor gestured to his men. "Come home." "This is home," she whispered. "No," Victor said. "This is where you hid." Marcus turned to Clara. "You don't have to go." But her eyes were on the car, tears falling. "I think I do," she said. Not with force, but with pressure. She stepped back slowly. Marcus didn't follow. "I'm sorry," she said, not looking back. The car door closed, and the vehicle vanished into the night. Marcus stood alone, the silence deafening. He shut the door and turned off the light. Days passed, heavy and quiet. Marcus worked his shifts, cleaned streets, and came home at dawn. But his spark was gone. Noah stopped singing while playing, sleeping with a nightlight. On the 5th day, he started coughing, a cold, Marcus thought. Then came fever, chills, shaking. By midnight, Noah was burning up. Marcus carried him to the van, hands trembling. At the hospital, harsh light stung his eyes. A nurse took Noah while Marcus paced. A clerk approached. "We need $5,000 to admit him." Marcus's wallet held $80. "Can I pay some now?" he asked. "I'll cover the rest soon." The clerk hesitated. "Policy is he's 7, Marcus pleaded. A voice interrupted. "I'll cover it." Clara stood there, rain-soaked, handing over her card. "Everything, room, meds, tests." The clerk asked, "Relation to the patient?" Clara looked at Marcus. "Yes." An hour later, doctors confirmed a treatable infection. Marcus sat by Noah's bed, head in hands. Clara entered quietly. "You didn't have to," Marcus said. "I know," she replied. He exhaled. "I'm sorry you got dragged into this." "You didn't drag me," she said. "I came back." Marcus nodded. "Thank you." Clara looked at Noah. "You said everyone deserves to walk without pain. That's hearts too." They sat, the monitors beeped the only sound. Marcus breathed easier, not just for Noah, but because Clara returned. In her father's sleek mansion, Clara stood on polished marble, city lights glittering through vast windows. Victor Langston sat at a mahogany desk, scanning a tablet. "I knew you'd return once you came to your senses," he said without looking up. "I'm here to talk," Clara said. He set the tablet down. "You're chasing a fantasy, Clara. Living with a man scraping by on odd jobs." "That man saved me," she said. "From what?" Victor scoffed. "A little hardship. You had a future, security, and name." "I walked away," Clara said. "There's a difference." Victor stood. "You left everything for a janitor." "He's a father," Clara said. "He shows up for his son every day. He taught me more about strength in a month than you did my whole life." Victor's eyes narrowed. "You're choosing him over me?" "I'm choosing my life," she said. "And the man who lives with honesty and heart." "You love him?" Victor asked. "I do." He flinched. "He can't provide for you." "He gives me what matters," Clara said. Victor turned to the window. "This isn't a storybook. Love doesn't pay bills. It keeps people warm," she replied. Victor poured a drink, his shoulders slumping. "I didn't mean to be the villain." "I know," Clara said. "You just forgot how to be human." She headed for the door. Victor's voice stopped her. "Tell him he's lucky." "No," she said softly. "I am." She walked into the rain, toward her chosen life. At dawn, a knock came. Marcus was shaping pancakes into stars, Noah's favorite. He opened the door and froze. Clara stood there, holding a bag of cinnamon rolls. "For Noah," she said. "The good kind, no shortcuts." "I'm not here for one night," she added. "I'm here to stay, if you'll have me." Marcus searched her eyes, finding no hesitation. "We're not wealthy," he said. Clara stepped closer. "I've had wealth, trips, luxury, but never a kitchen with star pancakes or a home that feels alive." Marcus softened. "It's a small place." "It's enough," she said. "It's love." Noah's voice broke in. "Clara." He ran to her, hugging her tight. "Are you staying forever?" Clara looked at Marcus. He nodded. "Yeah, kid," she said, tearing up. "Forever's perfect." 3 months later, the local park buzzed with families and food trucks. Marcus's van was now a weekend breakfast stand, Clara's idea. The sign read, "Marcus's Morning Bites, Wraps, Rolls, and Coffee." Clara worked the griddle, Marcus took orders, and Noah handed out napkins with a grin. They didn't get rich, but they built a life. Clara flipped a pancake, catching Marcus's eye. He mouthed, "Thank you." She smiled. She didn't need a mansion to feel whole, just them. The best lives are built with kindness, honesty, and courage to choose love. Marcus offered a couch, a mug of tea, and a steady heart. That was all Clara then needed to find home. If you like this story, please click like and subscribe to our channel. We have more stories coming soon. Don't forget to turn on the bell so you don't miss any new stories. Thank you for listening.